Hey everybody, I'm Greenhavak,
And I'm Cynize.
and this is ESHQ's. Good luck, have fun.
Justice reigns from above.
No one can hide from my sight.
友人の剣をくれ
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
Hey everybody, and welcome to Good Luck, Have Fun. So, we're on day 3 and 4 now.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. The first 2 days were awesome. I'm excited to see those games.
Oh, I'm very excited to see how those games play out, because obviously we record at the beginning of the week to make sure we stay honest.
That's right.
So we start day 3 off with the Shock versus Mayhem.
This is a game I've wanted to see.
You know what? It is, because I feel like both of these teams are considered, despite the current standings, I feel like both of these teams are considered in that bottom tier with the Shanghai Dragons. So I feel like these two teams, they're going to be battling it out to kind of try to get more into the bottom middle pack instead of the
Bottom.
just bottom, exactly. So Shock versus Mayhem, Tvik versus Baby Bay, Dante versus Logix.
You know what? I want to say it right off the bat.
Okay.
Shock is going to win this 3-2.
Shock is going to win 3-2.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually also have Shock winning 3-2. And I feel like this is the Shock's game to lose.
That's right.
I feel like it's going to be close, but ultimately I feel like it's going to be in their hands. And the Mayhem are going to put up a good game.
This is a game that they actually have a reach to win. They see them as a possible stepping stone to rise above the ranks. This is and Shock this is basically for them to prove that they do not belong there. So really, it's going to be a brawl. No matter what this is, if Baby Bay is on point, then it'll be awesome. If he's not, it's going to be a brawl with all the other players.
I agree.
So it'll be a fun game to watch.
Absolutely, very fun. But second game of day 3.
That's right. This is another big one.
Dynasty versus the Outlaws.
Would you consider this a game to watch?
You know what? Yes, this is, and the other game I talked about in this is the other game. Yes, I would consider this a game to watch. It's the other game I highlighted in the narrative portion of GG Well Played. So it's a big one. Dynasty versus Outlaws. You know what? I'm too curious. I have to ask. Where are you going?
Okay. I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
All right? I have Seoul Dynasty winning 2-1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, before I start my, speech about why this is happening, what is your choice? Who's going to win, and by how much?
I have the red hot Outlaws, the wanted men, the 4-0 streaking, I have them winning 3-1 over the Dynasty.
3-1.
I have this game looking like it's going to be a 4-0, and Dynasty managed to stop it.
Wow,
I know.
what a game.
I'm going bold, I'm going big. And you know what? The reason actually was an interview I saw with Jake, where he said one of his big driving forces is to beat the Korean teams. He was disappointed in his play at the World Cup, which is hard to imagine.
He was on point.
Exactly, being disappointed with that kind of level of play. So for me, I have a feeling that the Houston Outlaws are really preparing for this game, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go with the not quite straightforward answer for Seoul Dynasty. I'm going with the Outlaws taking it 3-1, which does mean, yes, I am calling for the Dynasty to lose both of their games in a single week.
Wow. Okay. All right, the Houston Outlaws, they've been on fire. They Their 4-0s have been awesome. Super fun to watch. They've been on point. Everyone. Jake, Raucus, Muma, they have all... Linkser. They are super incredible right now. But I don't know if they can win against Dynasty yet. So that's why I have a tie in there. It's going to be close. It's going to be a 2-1. But really, Seoul Dynasty, they are a top-notch team. I'm excited. I want to be proven wrong. I want to be. I want the Houston Outlaws to take it 3-1. And we'll see.
We will absolutely see. For me, part of the other analysis reason is I looked at some of the games that they have they've played. So they've both played the Shanghai Dragons.
Sure.
They've both played the Gladiators.
Yeah.
They've both played the Fuel. They've both played Excelsior.
Sure.
Both teams look to struggle against Excelsior.
Of course.
Houston destroyed Fuel. Seoul Dynasty won 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barely beat Fuel.
Okay.
Seoul Dynasty dropped a match to the Dragons.
That's true.
Houston Outlaws annihilated them.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Gladiators even. Dynasty.
That's true.
Had to bring out some real strats against the Gladiators. We watched the Houston Outlaws treat the Gladiators like a bottom tier team.
Yes.
So for me, me, it's absolutely the Houston Outlaws.
That was a tough game to figure out. I had difficulty trying to figure it out. I did go both sides. I was like, maybe Houston can take it, maybe Seoul can take it. You know what? The next game is probably even harder to guess. I struggled with this one. Boston versus Gladiators. I had like both sides crossed out. I was like, no, they're gonna win. No, they're gonna win. I went back and forth.
I get that.
What do you have? Who do you have winning?
I have the Uprising claiming a 3-1 victory over the Gladiators, and part of my reasoning is just watching the Gladiators crumble against the Houston Outlaws on the final day of Week 3. So I have the Uprising, who have been playing top-notch Overwatch.
Oh, completely.
Coming in and going, you know what? I'm tired of us being called a middle team. We are an upper bracket team. Respect us.
That's right, and really, I was fumbling with this throughout the entire week. I was like, man, who's going to be the next week winners? But this final game with the Houston Outlaws Gladiators did not come to play.
They did not.
So I have 3-2 with Boston Uprising taking it.
Okay, that is more than fair, and I ultimately feel like more generous towards what we have seen and can see out of the Gladiators.
That's right.
All right, guys. Moving on to day 4, February 3rd, the Saturday. Wrapping up week 4. It starts off with a pretty straightforward game. The Dragons, who are still really trying to find out how they want to play this game.
That's right.
Versus the London Spitfires. So, ultimately, I think this game's going to be pretty straightforward. The big thing that we want to look out for when it comes to the Dragons is individual improvements. We've started to see Undead be more dependable, Dia be in the right positions, Five Kings more flexible,
That's right.
MK really start to be in the position that he needs to be in more often. So we're starting to see the pieces come together.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to claim a win versus the London Spitfire because I don't think most teams can plan on beating them. So for me,
Right.
I have the Spitfires winning this 4-0.
I have the same. London Spitfires, such a great team. Dragons, they're still pulling their pieces together. Really, I think it's over for them in stage 1. There's no way they can climb up on top. They should really use this time to improve themselves. And I think we're going to see a little bit more in stage 2 from the Dragons, but stage 1, it might be a wash for them.
I agree. And now we did see some decent performances out of week 3. They took the Uprising to they took the Fusion to overtime.
Yeah.
And they were able to claim a map from the Seoul Dynasty.
That's right. That's basically foreshadowing stage 2, I feel like.
Exactly.
Yep.
But they play the Excelsior and the Spitfire in the same week. That is a brutal back-to-back game, regardless of who you are.
Sure.
Seoul Dynasty would not enjoy this week, so there's no way that the Dragons do. I feel like it's too much on their plate, and they're going to be overwhelmed by the caliber of teams they have to go back-to-back with.
Yeah, so they're going to be taking a morale hit, and I want to see. It's going to be interesting to see if they can take a game in either of those.
I think it's important for their coaches. Big thing to take away from these games is that their coaches need to reassure the players. These are two teams most teams would be okay taking a loss from as long as they performed well.
That's right.
So let's perform well. Second game of day 4, the Fuel versus the Excelsior.
More of an exciting game. Really, it's going to come down to if Dallas Fuel can ramp up, really bring their A game against the New York Excelsiors. However, I feel like the Excelsiors are just their mechanics, their individual skill, their teamwork, their just brutality in this game is just going to override Fuel. 3-1 for me. Excelsior is taking it.
I also have a 3-1, and it's because of that same reason. We've started to see cunning tactics. We've always seen just this overwhelming and dominating level of mechanical skill. You think you're shutting down Pine? Okay, Sabiolbi does it.
Right,
You think
exactly.
you're shutting down Sabiolbi? Okay, Libero does it. You think you're shutting down Libero? Jonak does it. I mean, this team just constantly rotates who is carrying the team to victory. And all of these players are also totally fine with being the passive player who just sits on the point and, protects the healers.
That's right.
They're all okay with being the star, handling the pressure, or taking the pressure off someone else.
Giving the stardom and the spotlight to someone else.
Exactly.
Because they understand it's a team game.
And for me, with Fuel, we are just seeing more and more and more questions.
Yep.
So I think it's pretty straightforward. I think ultimately the Fuel are too good mechanically, especially Effect, to fall 4-0
Yeah.
to the Excelsior, especially after you could tell they were upset with their performance in the 4-0 loss to the Houston Outlaws. But I also could see this game going 4-0 for the Excelsior.
Oh,
but
easily. But we have written down 3-1.
Sticking to the 3-1.
Unless you want to change it.
I'm not giving you another.
All right. So the final game in the fourth day. This is kind of a weird one for me. Valiant versus the Boston Uprising. Boston Uprising putting in a great show. Valiant kind of wavering, a little bit, but also putting on, a strong effort. Which one is going to win?
So this week ultimately is really interesting because the Valiant are playing the Uprising and the Fusion, the two teams that were able to beat the Korean rosters. And so this is, in a way, big for the Valiant because they've struggled a little bit in the previous weeks. They haven't been playing as well as I think they would like to. So can the Valiant come out, beat the Fusion, then beat the Uprising, and go like, yeah, no, I get it. You guys got a good win versus the Korean rosters. We are still a top tier team, and because I bumped out the Valiant in the top 5.
Sure, yeah.
Do we see them back in the top 5 this coming week? And if they get 2 wins, I really think we could. The Uprising ultimately have a slightly lighter schedule, playing the Gladiators instead of the Fusion. But we also saw the Gladiators beat the Fusion. So again, none of these games are easy.
Right, exactly.
So Uprising versus the Valiant, it's a tough one. I'm going 3-2 for the Valiant.
Okay. All right, that's close to mine, similar to mine. I have 3-1 Valiant winning against Boston Uprising. So really, if Boston Uprising does become the giant killers that they're kind of showing up to be as, then Valiant's going to have a tough day. The Valiant, if they come to play like they showed us in week 1, I think it will be a pretty easy game for them, or match, yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And that ultimately wraps up this week in the Overwatch League. And obviously we're quite excited to be looking forward to to week 5 and the end of the stage. But until next time, good luck and have fun.
If you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe and join the conversation down in the comments. It really helps us out a lot. And if there's any other content you would like to see from us, make sure to let us know because we're all ears here at ESHQ.